Welcome, adventure. I'm GM Goblin, your GM Goblin, and today we're going to cover the rest of the Unchained Monk. My last video, part one of this series, was going to be over the class itself, as well as briefly over some of the abilities and the changes that were made from the core monk to the Unchained Monk. Today we're going to be going over some of the preferable races that you should probably pick, maybe some of my abilities that I prefer, as well as finally the full build, which we used in one of our campaigns. So stick around. One thing that I see a lot of people looking at is style feats whenever they are looking at Unchained Monks, and they fit in a lot of different builds, but style feats allow you to use several different feats or a feat chain to change how your character does combat. Aesthetic is one of our favorites. It's what my wife used in her build. There is some other ones, particularly for punching. Where is it? Pummeling style, which is going to eventually allow you to move around and everything. There's a few guides out there. I will show you a breakdown of my wife's character here in just a second, and we will go over some feats. But she used the aesthetic style because as you go through your chain, your monk damage and everything is going to be transferred to your weapon. So you're basically going to be using a single weapon, wave blade. You're going to be doing this because you want that crit range. When you put improved on that or grab the feat yourself, you're looking at using a single weapon to do all of your attacks with, just like you might see them do in, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and you're throwing all of your attacks through this weapon with a 25% crit chance. And that's another one of the ways that we used with her aesthetic build to use crit to always get them staggered and stunned by using by following the improved crit feat lines. Now, going over races, we'll cover a few of the core ones. Depends on your build what you're really going to want. You don't want to take away from your constitution if you pick any of the races. So that is something you should probably look at not doing, because you're going to be in the midst of combat with a monk. And depending if your build is going to be dex based or if you're going to be strength based, depending on what you want to do, be a grappler or something like that. Dragon scale, whatever. Dwarves are pretty good. They're going to give you that +2 wisdom and constitution. You don't care about charisma. And so they're still medium. You're not going to get a drop in your hand-to-hand damage, or you're not going to get a drop in any movement. So that's good. Well, dwarves, I guess you do get a drop in the movement, but it's okay, especially with the wisdom increase, 1 extra AC. So all you got to do is worry about your main attack stat, which is going to be either dex or strength. Half orcs are good because you get that +2 bonus to whatever you want. You can also change out some of their alternate racial traits to make things a little bit better for you. Humans are humans, man. So you're looking at your +2 to any ability score, and you're looking at that extra feat to get you into whatever your build you're trying to do. Whether you're taking Mantis or something that takes away those bonus feats, and you still want to get you that Gorgon feat at level 11, well, human's a way that you can help yourself get that. It's pretty good whenever you do like an aesthetic build, because aesthetic builds require you to have your weapon focus. Hobgoblin, +2 dex if you're running a dex build, and then you get a +2 to your constitution. So it's a good race. It's got your base speed. It doesn't drop any of it. You get a little more stealthy on this guy if you want, just for being sneaky. And then, of course, dark vision, and I love me some dark vision. Outside, and this is outside of your core races, I don't really recommend elf. Yes, you can do elf, but it's mostly because elf gets that negative to your constitution. And I don't think you should have a negative if you're being a frontliner. So with the Vanara, which they're like the monkey humanoid race, you're looking at +2 dex and wisdom. Once again, just like the dwarf, it's good. They've got the increased movement, so you're a little bit faster than a dwarf, and you get a climb speed. So they're pretty good. Another one that I would look at would be an Orid, simply because they've got a 2 strength and 2 wisdom. And then one of the races that I didn't pick is Undine. Undeed Undine, I mean, you get a -2 to your intelligence. Hopefully, you're not trying to be a skill monkey with this guy, and you're going to be getting a 2 wisdom and 2 con. So it's going to help you boost that wisdom saving throw, which as an Unchained Monk, you're going to be lacking a little bit, and you're going to keep that con up. So it's pretty good. It's what I went with my build whenever I did this for my wife. But there might be a few other ones on there. You can make a custom race. It's really going to depend on what your GM allows and what you have the option to. There are more races that you're going to find that have an increase to the dex that does not have a drop in their wisdom or their constitution than the other way around. Usually if you get something like full-blown orc or something, you're going to be getting negatives to your wisdom. This depends if you're going for a specific build, and if you don't mind losing that, then your best strength builds, especially with core, is going to be your half-orc, your humans, maybe your half-elf, because that's always a good race.